Here is a 2-minute tutorial on the volleyball float serve. The first thing you need to master with your serve is mastering your toss. When you're serving, you always want to make sure you're tossing in front of your serving hand because that's going to allow you to have proper alignment with your serve. If you toss too far to your right or too far to your left, you end up leaning into your serve, which can throw you off. We also want to make sure we're tossing in front of us so that ball's not landing on top of our head. Looking at these videos, you can see that my toss is slightly in front of me, which allows me to move forward into that ball so that I have forward momentum to gain more power. Here are a few easy drills that you can do on your own that's going to help you to practice your toss, to help make sure that that toss is high enough, to help make sure that it's in front of you, and it's going to allow us to make sure that our contact is behind the ball and not underneath the ball. Moving on from the toss, I want to talk about the contact with a float serve. When you're contacting, you want to make sure you have a big hand and you want to make sure that you are contacting behind the ball and not underneath it or on top of it. And that's going to help avoid any spin on the ball and help to give that ball that floating effect. Wall traps are a great drill that I like to use with my players to help master that contact. The next thing you want to focus on is your arm swing. So the mechanics of a serve are pretty similar to that of a proper throw. You want to make sure that you are leading with your elbow and that your arm is not coming out and around you, but rather up high above your head. And using something like a tennis ball can really help you to break down that mechanics before you even start serving a ball. Next, we want to look at our torso rotation. So the power that you see behind a serve is actually coming from an athlete's hips and torso and not just their shoulders. To generate that power, we want to make sure that we are staying open and that our hips shift first before our arm makes contact with that ball. And last part of this tutorial is looking at our footwork. Typically with a standing float serve, you'll see athletes do a 1-step or a 2-step to that ball. Usually for my younger athletes, I'll have them do a 2-step because it helps them to generate a little bit more power. But the most important thing is making sure your last step is opposite to the hand that you serve with. The most important thing about mastering your serve is just doing it over and over and over and over again. So make sure to like and save this video and start getting to practicing.